Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 9th Canto, Chapter 21, The Dynasty of Bharata. Today, starting from text 22 up to text 25. Purport is given only on 25th verse, so 22nd, 23rd and 24th. I am just reading these verses with translation, then we recite together 25th verse. From Ajamedha came a son named Brihadishu. From Brihadishu came a son named Brihadhanu. From Brihadhanu, a son named Brihatkaya, and from Brihatkaya, son named Jayadratha. The son of Jayadratha was Visada. His son was Svenajit. The son of Svenajit was Ruchirasva, and Drudhanu, Kashya, and Vatsa. The son of Ruchirasva was Para, and the son of Para was Tuthusena and Nipa. Nipa had 100 sons. Now text 25. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charana Aravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. King Nipa begot a son named Brahmadatta through the womb of his wife Kriti, who was the daughter of Sukha. And Brahmadatta, who was a great yogi, begot a son named Vishwaksena through the womb of his wife Saraswati. Purport. The Sukha mentioned here is different from the Sukadeva Goswami, who spoke Srimad Bhagavatam. Sukadeva Goswami, the son of Vyasadeva, is described in great detail in the Brahma Vaivarta Purana. There it is said that Vyasadeva maintained the daughter of Javali as his wife, and that after they performed penances together for many years, he placed his seed in her womb. The child remained in the womb of his mother for 12 years, and when the father asked son to come out, the son replied that he would not come out unless he were completely liberated from the influence of Maya. Vyasadeva then assured the child that he would not be influenced by Maya, but the child did not believe his father, for the father was still attached to his wife and children. Vyasadeva then went to Dwaraka and informed the personality of Godhead about his problem. And the personality of Godhead, at Vyasadeva's request, went to Vyasadeva's cottage, where he assured the child in the womb that he would not be influenced by Maya. Thus assured, the child came out, but he immediately went away as a Parivrajacharya. When the father, very much aggrieved, began to follow his saintly boy, Sukadeva Goswami, the boy created a duplicate Sukadeva, who later entered family life. Therefore, the Sukakanya, a daughter of Sukadeva, mentioned in this verse, is the daughter of the duplicate or imitation Sukadeva. The original Sukadeva was a lifelong brahmachari. Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanati Mirandhasya Jnananjana Sailakaya Chakhyurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurubhe Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Sopadantikam. Bande Aham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnambhamscha श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथानितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखानितांश्च नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषः शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरतिशै नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेशः गोपिकाकान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। सहकृत्यां सुककन्यायां ब्रह्मदत्तम अजाजनत जोगी सह गभी भर्यायां विश्वक्सेनम अधत्सुतम। King Nipa begot a son named Brahmadatta through the womb of his wife Kriti, who was the daughter of Suka. And Brahmadatta, who was a great yogi, begot a son named Vishwaksena through the womb of his wife Saraswati. So in this chapter there is dynasty of Bharat Maharaj described, and Bharat Maharaj, there is Kshatriyas, there are two ancestry. One is ancestry from sun god and another from moon god, Surya Vangsha and Chandra Vangsha or Soma Vangsha. So here is a description is given about the Kshatriya kings. They came from the dynasty of Soma or Chandra. In Gita we see Shri Krishna again and again addressed to Arjuna as Bharata. That Bharata is this Bharata, the son of Shakuntala and Dusmanta in Chandra Vangsha, in a dynasty of moon. So that's why here is the description is going on. But in this particular verse here, the word Sukha is mentioned in this verse, and I saw the commentary of all the acharyas. They mention the writing their purport, their commentary on the particular this word Sukha. Almost, and this is the Srila Prabhupada gave a nice purport, and this purport is simply the translation of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur commentary is in Sanskrit, and Prabhupada simply translated this whole commentary into English. So that is the parampara system. Acharyas, they are not speculating anything, they are simply following the parampara. So both Vyasadeva and Sukadeva Goswami, they both are very exalted personalities. Just like yesterday class was the discussion of Varna Ashrama and Sanskar. These both Vyasadeva and Sukadeva Goswami, they did not follow any the sanskar, this Garbhadana, this Varna Ashram process. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur wrote in his purport that first he wrote about Vyasadeva, little introduction of Vyasadeva. Brahmacharya paribhrangse matru vakyad upasthite swayam pitru runadanam deepavat sodhumakhyamah vichintya manasa chakre bharya javali kanyakam vitikakya dadau tasmai sopi vaikhanasya asramihi. Vyasadeva, we know who is Vyasadeva? Whose son? Parasaratmajang bande sukatatang taponidhim. He is the greatest of all the sages, and he is Sukatatang, he is the father of Sukadeva Goswami. Parasaratmajang, a son of Parasara Muni, and Satyavati. His mother was Satyavati. The whole story I am not going to, that is described in the beginning of Mahabharata, everything. How Parasara Muni was a great astrologer. Then where he was one time traveling, so he was just crossing the river by a boat. And then he was calculating the particular time, and he saw this particular muhurta is very exalted. This particular time is. In this particular time is a qualified Brahman or a qualified person discharges semen in the womb of a woman. Then such a personality will appear. That such a son will take birth, that he could do the very exalted things or for the welfare of entire humanity. Maybe the Supreme Personality of Godhead, maybe he incarnate himself, or he may empower some living entity. So thinking about the welfare of the entire humanity, Parasara Muni was thinking somehow or other to do that function. He was not just like lusty man, and he just attracted to beautiful woman, just have sex with her. Not like that. She was thinking, then he saw this, there was no other woman, there was the daughter of a fisherman. Her name is Satyavati, and she herself also boating. She was driving the boat. Somehow or other he approached that girl, Satyavati, but he told, you have to approach my father. Somehow or other he was successful, and because of, then Parasara Muni just left. He has no other business, he has no attachment to that woman, Satyavati. But Satyavati also immediately gave birth to a child. Not wait like 9 months, and he immediately gave birth to a child. And that child was Krishna Daipayana Vyasa. And he also did not took a reformatory process. He took birth immediately, stood. He became a young person immediately. He not just Komarang Jovanang, like this stage. He not passed all this stage. So he just took birth from the womb of his mother, then immediately stood as a young person, and he started walking. Like Sukadeva Goswami also started walking after taking birth. He also started immediately walking towards Himalaya. Then he told to his mother, "Mother, okay, I am promising you, whenever you need my help, you may remember me. Just by remembering me, I will immediately appear in front of you to help you, to serve you." Then he immediately left. So Satyavati was also, now what to do, what not to do, he could not decide, because it's very abominable, just like Kunti, he gave up. That child was born before her marriage. Who? Karna. That is due to sun god's relation with him or with her. Similarly, Satyavati, okay, now this child born, and he also left. So he returned back to her father's cottage. Like this, Vyasadeva left, and later on, same Satyavati get married to whom? Santanu, father of Bhishmadev. Santanu was the great king. He was emperor of the world. Somehow or other, because Parasara Muni gave a boon that when he had sex with that girl, he gave the boon. That from your body now a special fragrance will spread everywhere. Before he was being a daughter of a fisherman, his body was very bad smell was there. But because of Parasara Muni's relation with her and boon of Parasara Muni, his fragrance was spreading everywhere. That's why he was attracted. Who? Santanu. Then he approached her, but she told to approach her father. Then the fisherman told, okay, in one condition, that any child born from the womb of my daughter, he must be the emperor of the world, next person, inherit your throne. But Bhismadeva was before. Daughter Bhismadeva was son of Santanu and Ganges. It's a great person, goddess Ganges, river Ganges. But he has affection, but somehow other Bhismadeva could understand the mind of his father. Then he voluntarily went and he thus approached the fisherman and he took the vow that I will remain brahmachari for life. I will not get married. I will not sit on the throne. Whoever the child come from the womb of Satyavati, definitely be the king, next king. And he told, okay, so that will maybe your child may be claimed. Then he told, no, I will not get married. I will remain brahmachari whole life. That is Bhisma Pratigya, to satisfy his father. So in this way, then the same Satyavati when he got married to Santanu, then from Santanu and Satyavati two children come out, two sons. There is Chitrangada and Vichitravirja. So, but Chitrangada was the eldest, so he became the next king. But there is a Gandharva, his name was also Chitrangada. He became envious. How is my name is, he kept my name. And he is now emperor of the world. So he came and challenged with Chitrangada. There cannot be two Chitrangada, one Chitrangada there must be. And the big fight between them. Many years. Then finally, son of Santanu, that Chitrangada, died. She was lost the battle. Then Vichitravirja became the king, and Vichitra had two queens, who? Amba and Ambalika. So these two queens had no children, and in the meantime, Vichitravirja also left his body. So now there is no one to inherit the throne. That's why Satyavati remember his previous son, who? Vyasadeva. He told to remember her anytime he needs his help. Now Satyavati remembered his previous son, Vyasa, and Vyasadeva was doing his meditation in his tapasya in Himalayas, Badrika Ashram. There is a Samya Prasa Ashram in the bank of Saraswati River. That was Vyasadev's ashram. So Vyasadeva just could understand, now my mother is remembering me. He immediately come from that place. Long beard and having many years. He was performing so much austerity. Has come. And he told, why mother you remember me? How can I help you? So mother told, okay. Those days it was the system. If there no child born in the from a brother, then next his other brother can do that business, can discharge his semen in the womb of his sister-in-law. So in this way, Vyasadeva, following the order of his mother, then he discharged his semen on the both queens. First he come. There is a long story. I am not going through everything. So now Vyasadeva thought. That is, here is Vishnu Chakravarti is commenting. Brahmacharya paribhrangse matru bhakyat upasthite. Following the word of his mother, now Vyasadeva came. He was also like Sukadeva Goswami, left his house. But now he promised his mother. So what to do? So that's why now he saw that brahmacharya paribhrangse. Now he could not remain a brahmachari, a strict brahmachari. Now he thought, okay, I have also business about showing pitru runa, dan, by pitru runa. So following the advice of mother also, he got himself married. To whom he married? Vichintya manasa chakre bharjya javali kanyakam vitikakyang dadau tasmai. He got married with the Javali Kanyakam. His mother-in-law name was Javali, and Javali has a daughter named Bitika. Many times people say, who is the father of Sukadeva Goswami? What is the name of wife of Vyasadeva? Here is mentioned, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur mentioned in his commentary, that Javali Kanyakam Bitika. So Javali, mother-in-law, and his daughter, her daughter Bitika, he became the wife of Vyasadeva. Then after many thousands, as Prabhupada mentioned in the purport, many thousands of years austerity, then they had this son, who? Sukadeva Goswami. Sukadeva Goswami appeared as their son. How many years he remained in home? Here Prabhupada mentioned, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur wrote 12 years. Different places is differently written. But here Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur and Prabhupada is mentioned 12 years. So, but there are many stories. Who is Sukadeva Goswami? There is also many stories about that. In many Puranas also mentioned that Sukadeva Goswami is the parrot of Radharani. She is not ordinary soul. Some places mentioned that one time Radha and Krishna, they are having in their very intimate pastimes there. But at the meantime there is already sun arose and morning was this light was spreading everywhere. But still they are not waking up. So this parrot just calling them. Get up. Get up. Now morning is. But Radharani become very disturbed. Just kick that parrot. Get out from here. So being cursed by Radharani, he just moved here and there. But some other place told, no, after Radha Krishna's pastimes was over, then he was searching and moving here, there, this parrot, searching to hear about the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. He was completely in Vipralamba mood. He was always feeling so much separation from Radha, Gokulananda, Radha, Shyamasundar. He was just, and in this way moving, he was, then he come to the place where Lord Shiva was speaking Bhagavatam to Parvati. That is in a different place, like some places in Gaura Govinda Swami Maharaj, he is telling them that is in Bhubaneswar, he has a Kamra Kap, there is one huge mango tree, a Kamraban. And there the incident happened, the Vyasadeva was speaking, Shiva was speaking Bhagavatam to Parvati. But the other Purana is mentioned that in Amarnath, that is in Himalaya. Amarnath, and there is a huge cave. Now also thousands of pilgrims, they go by walking to that place. So the Lord Shiva was speaking Bhagavatam to Parvati. But before that he told no one should remain here. And he clapped his hand. He told all living entities must get out from here. He wanted to depart this Brahma Vidya, this sacred knowledge to Parvati alone. But somehow or other this Sukapakhi, this parrot was there, sitting. Sometimes some place mentioned that actually the parrot, okay, I'm not going everything. So anyhow, just sitting, the parrot was sitting there, and he also hidingly listening katha. He was now, after many, many years, now he is just drinking the nectar through his ear. If you want to see a sadhu, you should not see him in eyes. Bhaktivinoda Saraswati Thakur says, in everything we can see in this material world through our eyes. But if you want to see a sadhu, then hear through your ear. Sukadeva Goswami was hearing this katha, but after when 9th canto finished, the Parvati actually practically slept. And just putting her head on lap of Shiva, but he was listening. Who? The parrot was listening. When Shiva was going on speaking, then he is telling, every sentence was put. So Shiva was in samadhi, he was speaking, So he was thinking Parvati now listening. Jai Shri Radha Gokulananda ki jai, Sita Ram Lakshmana Hanuman ji ki jai. So in this way, now Lord Shiva, he looked down, then he saw the Parvati already slept, putting his head on his thigh. So what is going on? Who is doing this? Then just up I saw this parrot was sitting. Become very angry. He did not follow my order. I told all living entities has to get out from here. So immediately he took his, what? Trishul, trident. And he just chased this parrot. Parrot was just flying out of here. And that time Vyasdev's wife, Bitika, just smiling, opened his mouth, taking a small, he has all yogic perfection, not just in the bird, taking a small step, just this parrot was entered into the mouth of Bitika. And now Lord Shiva, what can he do? And he saw that he cannot kill a woman. Now Vyasdev pacified Lord Shiva, then he returned. So in this way, how Sukadeva Goswami entered into the womb of Vyasadeva. That's why in the beginning, when Sutta Goswami started speaking about Bhagavatam, then Sutta Goswami praying his obeisances first to his spiritual master. Who? Sukadeva Goswami. Yam prabrajantam anupetam apeta krityam daipayana viraha katara ajuhava putreti tanmayataya tarabo abhinedus tam sarvabhuta hrudayam manim anatosmi munim anatosmi. Sri Sutta Goswami said, let me offer my respectful obeisances unto that great sage Sukadeva Goswami, who can enter the hearts of all. He will not just enter the hearts of Jabali, the wife of Vyasadeva, but Sutta Goswami is telling that says Sukadeva Goswami, who can enter the hearts of all. When he went away to take up the renounced order of life, sannyasa, leaving home without undergoing a reformation by the sacred thread or the ceremonies observed by the higher castes, his father Vyasadeva, fearing separation from him, cried out, "O my son, indeed in only the trees which were observed in the same feelings of separation echoed in response to the bereaved father." So, in this way, Sukadeva Goswami, he did not need, in this purport, Prabhupada told that Sukadeva Goswami, he did not need any regulative principles or the Garbhadana Sanskaras, all this process. He was already a Vaishnava. He was exalted Vaishnava. Vaishnava do not need all this process. Just like yesterday, Prabhuji were commenting that about Prabhupada. He told, I am 5th class man. There is 4 ashramas, Varnashram, the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra. But a Vaishnava is above those. Who is he? His position is a Vaishnava, his exalted position above this thing. Triguna Visaya Vedana Stray Gunya Bhavarjuna. Brahmana is mood of goodness, and Kshatriya in mood of passion, Vaishya in mixed mood, passion and ignorance, and Sudra in ignorance. But when a Vaishnava, he is already above these modes. He is above the modes of nature. Because he is performing pure devotional service. Gunatrita savichyate. Yo abhyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatitaitan brahmabhuyaya kalpate. So anyhow, here is Sukadeva Goswami is glorified by Sutta Goswami, and as Prabhupada wrote in the commentary in Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and just in Sanskrit is telling, Virahaturang vyasam anuyatang drushtva chaya sukang nirmaya gataving stadabhi. Seeing the Vyasadeva was just running after his son. telling with separation, shouting, "Oh, Sukha, please return back to home." And he was not hearing, he was not looking back, just walking naked. Just born, he is about 12 years old, a young boy, and walking naked. And when there is both father and son was walking, who was walking first? In front, son was going, and there the demigoddesses, the Devakanyas, they are taking bath in Mandakini river, and they saw Sukadeva Goswami going walking naked. They did not feel anything. They are just taking bath again, same. Then Vyasadeva, he saw in a distance, Vyasadeva is coming in back. They immediately put their cloth on their body. Vyasadeva was surprised. Why it like that? This, my son is young boy, naked, he was walking, they did not feel anything, no shame, nothing. But now I am an old man, having my white beards and white, so why they are feeling shame? And he asked the daughters of the demigods, "You young ladies, you did not feel any shame when my young son was walking this way he goes. But why you are feeling shame? Whoever seeing me that I am an old man, and immediately you covered your body." They told, "Your son is, he is seeing everywhere." What is seeing? Sthavara jangama dekhe na dekhe tara murti sarvatra hai tar ishtadeva spurti. Everywhere seeing Krishna. He not seeing, even not separating man and woman. The body, he is not seeing the external body. He is seeing everywhere Krishna. But you are still in Grahastha Ashrama, and still you have different, in your mind you have difference. Here is a man, here is a woman. And Sukadeva is not like that. So that's why, though both are exalted, who? Vyasadeva and Sukadeva Goswami, still the position of Sukadeva Goswami is exalted. Padma Purana it is told that, who knows this Bhagavat Rahasya, the Bhagavatam, properly? It told that Brahma veti, Sukha veti, Vyasa veti va na veti. There is doubt about whether Vyasadeva understood properly, because he is a compiler. Vyasa means compiler. He just compiled everything. This Bhagavatam was spoken, then he was compiler. So a doubt that whether Vyasadeva known is properly or not, but Sukadeva knows perfectly. What? Bhagavatam. Nigava kalpatarur galita phalam sukhamukhat amrita dravya samyutam pibata bhagavatam rasam alayam muhuru aho rasika bhuvi bhapuka. That's why Bhagavat is already nectarian, but when it touched it come out again from the lip of Sukadeva Goswami, it become more nectarian. Just like an ripened mango, mango was touched by the beak of a parrot, then it became more tasty. Similarly, when this Bhagavatam was spoken by Sukadeva Goswami, it became more tasty. It became more nectarian. So in this way, here is Sukadeva Goswami was so powerful, as Prabhupada mentioned in his purport, that when he saw his father was just like ordinary man running after him, could not bear the separation of his son, shouting, "Sukha, Sukha, Sukha, please come back, please come back." Then what did Sukadeva Goswami did? Društva chaya Sukhang nirimaya. He created another Sukha. Who? Sukadeva Goswami. He was so powerful, he could create another Sukha, chaya Sukha. Duplicate Sukha, as Prabhupada wrote, duplicate Sukha. He created another Sukha, so Vyasadeva seeing that Sukha is now pacified, and that Sukha came to the hermitage of Vyasadeva, and that Sukha accepted the Grahastha Ashrama. That is in this verse, that is the Nipa begot a son named Brahmadatta through the womb of a wife Kriti, who was daughter of Sukha. This Kriti was the daughter of that Sukha, that Chaya Sukha. But Prabhupada wrote the original Sukha, Sukadeva Goswami, he remained celibate the whole life. He is still there. Sukadeva Goswami is still there. They are not. He never entered the Grihastha ashram. They are confused. Sometimes in Puranas there are two Sukha. So that's why Prabhupada made it clear to us that real Sukadeva Goswami, he is who is a Mahajan. He is a Mahajan among 12 Mahajans. Swayambhu, Narada, Sambhu, Kumara, Kapila, Manu, Prahlada, Janaka, Bhishma, Balir, Vayasaki, Bayam. Jamaraj is speaking in 6th canto about 12 Mahajans who knows the secrets of Bhagavatam, Bhagavat Dharma. Brahma, Narada, Swayambhu, Narada, Sambhu, Lord Shiva, 4 Kumaras, Sanak, Sanatana, Sanandan, Sanat Kumar, Kapila Muni, son of Devahuti, Manu. Which Manu? Swayambhu Manu. Anyhow, or Vaivasvata Manu. Gita is spoken to, Krishna is speaking the Gita to whom? Vivasvane Manave Praha. He's spoken this Gita. Evang Vivasvate Jogam Praktavan Aham Abhyayam Vivasvane Manave Praha Manu Ikhyako Abravit. That is a Rajarshi Parampara. So, anyhow, Narada, Sambhu, Kumara, Kapila, Manu, Prahlada, Janaka, father of Mother Sita, Rajarshi Janak. Prahlada, Janaka, Bhishma, Dev, Bali. Bali is the grandson of Prahlada. Bali, Vyasaki, son of Vyasadev. Who? Sukadeva Goswami. Bayam, Jamaraj himself. There are 12 authorities of Srimad Bhagavatam, and Sukadeva Goswami is one of them. And in fact, he is even the top. He was when the Sukadeva Goswami was speaking Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. Who are the listener? All of the Mahajanas are there. They are sitting and hearing. Vyasadeva was there. Narada was there. Narada was sitting there. Vyasadeva was sitting there. All the big sages, everyone sitting. But who was speaking Bhagavatam? Sukadeva. He was such an exalted, qualified person. So that's why in this verse, all the acharyas, they wrote their purport only to this word, Sukha. Maybe people will take it other way. How Sukadeva Goswami get married? He has a daughter. Actually, that original Sukha, he never entered Grihastha ashram. He was still a celibate brahmachari. He remained brahmachari forever. Even he did not wear cloth. What Sukadeva Goswami did not wear even cloth. He did not see anything in material in this world. He sees everything connected to Krishna. That's why even in whole Bhagavatam, because he was parrot of Radharani, so in whole Bhagavatam, he did not directly recite the name of Radha. Radha, he did not recited that whole Bhagavatam, that name of Radharani. That is because it still is the tradition in India. In villages, a woman never call her husband particular name, calling his name. He called as father of his son. He took like if her son's name is Rama, then he told father of Rama, like that. Not directly approach the name of her husband. Similarly, even there is tradition. So Sukadeva Goswami, being the personal own parrot of Radharani, so he did not recite that verse, the famous verse in 10th canto, 30th chapter and 20th verse. That is, Anayaradhita nunam Bhagavan Hariri Iswara Yanno Vihaya Govinda Pritoyam Anayadraha. Certainly this particular gopi has perfectly worshipped the all-powerful personality of Godhead, Govinda. Since he was so pleased with her that he abandoned the rest of us and brought her to secluded place. That's why Anaya Aradhita, this Aradhana Sabda, that is connected to Radharani. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that the word Aradhita refers to Srimati Radharani. He comments, the says Sukadeva Goswami has tried with all endeavor to keep her name hidden. But now it automatically shines forth from the moon of his mouth, that he who has spoken her name is indeed her mercy. And thus the word Aradhita is like the rumbling of kettle drum, sounded to announce her great good fortune. So in this way, the whole Bhagavatam we see, Sukadeva Goswami did not recite Radharani's name directly. But sometimes we have great pleasure in chanting Radhe, 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 Radhe. Then Prabhupada did not like this. Chanting again Radhe, Radhe. What? He is the greatest devotee of Radharani. Who? Prabhupada. Gauramohan Dev was always praying to saintly person to whom he inviting for prasadam. Please bless my son. He may be a pure devotee of Radharani. May preach these glories of Srimad Bhagavatam all over the world. His desires are fulfilled. Gauramohan Dev's desires. So he is the greatest devotee of Radharani. The Prabhupada did not like to chant like Radhe, 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 Radhe. One time, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he visited Radha Kund. And when he was in Radha Kund, or some Babaji told, oh, Swamiji, Maharaj, you have a very exalted disciple here residing in Radha Kunda, and day and night he is chanting Radhe, 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 Radhe. He just Bhaktivinoda Saraswati Thakur became very angry. He told, why he is chanting Radhe, Radhe, Radhe? I did not tell him to chant Radhe, Radhe. I told him to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Why is chanting Radhe, Radhe? Then he explained, if you chant Radhe, Radhe, who will come to see you? Krishna will come to see you. Radharani not come to see you. Krishna, who is that person that taking the name of my beloved Radha? Krishna will come to see you. So when you chant Krishna, 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 who will come to see you? Radharani will come. Who is that person is chanting the name of my beloved? But when you chant both, then who come? Both come to see you. So you don't want one of them only. Radha, so only Madhava or only Radha, that is not our worshipable. We want both Radha and Gokulananda, Radha and Shyama Sundar. That's why we chant Hare Krishna, Radhe Krishna. We don't chant Radhe, Radhe. So in this way, Sukadeva Goswami, he himself not chanted the name of Radharani, the whole Srimad Bhagavatam. Just indirectly in this verse, spontaneously just come out from his mouth as in this word as Aradhita, the topmost worshipper of Krishna. So it is already time, so I stop here. So any question or comment?